Hey guys, Megan here
And Stephanie
with Barn Besties
with Farm Fresh Advice.
and we are here with Natalie and Jack.
And Susie.
And Susie,
And all the doggies.
all the doggies. But we're here today to talk about footing.
More on the arena. And it's all about footing, but footing in there. So, are we ready?
We're ready.
Should we do all the things? And we
Okay, and off we go.
This can just swing right open.
Look at that.
Check it out. Hey. All right,
This
what
looks like a big play area for the dogs.
is your footing?
Yeah, tell us about this. How old is this?
So this is pretty fresh. I guess it's probably a couple months old now from the wedding.
The sand isn't.
The sand. So we just recently added sand to it. So it's lots of different names for it. Some people call it stone dust, limestone screenings.
Okay.
So it's basically the screenings you'd use for
This
limestone.
is limestone. It's not sand.
Not sand, but then if you look, there is some fine areas where you get kind of it's a little sandier through the middle. So the limestone has had a few larger pieces of rock come up. So we actually mixed one truckload of sand in, so like a quad, so it would have been 17 yards of sand on it. We kind of spread that around.
Bedding
Kind of-
sand.
So
Yeah,
dairy.
bedding sand for dairy. So we
Oh.
talked a couple different places, and they really like that.
Okay.
So our footing we like being it's a little, I'd say deep, but deep there, and then a really hard base underneath for the horses to grab a hold of and slide.
Oh,
There we go.
There's your
Here
noise.
we
So
go.
there's a chunk blowing from one side to the other.
oh, this is exciting.
We might get some
Yep.
some snow coming.
Yep.
And does that freak the horses out, or do they
Not
pretty
too
much
bad.
get
They're
into
pretty
it?
much-
They
Yeah.
pretty much
They're
don't.
desensitized.
I
Yeah.
think it helps that they can see it.
Sure,
Because like even the ceiling, they kind of see the shadow go away.
sure.
So I feel like that helps. But we haven't really had anybody freak out.
Okay, cool.
Uh-huh.
So mostly limestone, a little bit of sand.
Yep. On
Okay.
the footing part, and then underneath that is actually just more limestone base.
Sure.
So if you go down,
Did you
Yep.
There we
compact
go,
it,
hard.
your base? Yep,
Yeah.
just like us. And how many? We have 6 inches of compacted screenings. How many for your base do you have?
A lot.
Yeah, probably
there's something
6 inches then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
at least yep.
Yeah.
That looked almost a foot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so this ended up, so this used to be, if you look outside, the ground kind of all slopes away.
Mm-hmm.
So when we first moved here, they were redoing one of the streets in town, and we actually got the fill
Oh, nice.
for that. So they filled, this is all filled,
Sure.
100
Yeah.
47
used to walk
loads.
out the barn
Wow.
and go down.
Oh,
So this is,
Before us, it was a saddlebred breeding barn.
Uh-huh.
She didn't board or anything like that. So it was one automatic water and 3 pastures. And
Okay.
then we're standing in her stallion lot.
Okay.
okay. And then was this barn here?
That
This
barn
was the
was
only
there.
barn.
You bought that barn and added on.
Nice.
Yep.
Cool.
Nice.
Very
so
cool.
we filled, and then we put the limestone on top of that, packed it, wrote on it for probably a year, and it's kind of like that, keep getting packed and packed and packed.
So
and
can we
level and
talk
packed.
about the corner, the walls, everything?
Yeah.
We briefly talked in it in a previous video. We were upstairs showing you kind of the structure. We briefly hit on the walls, but can we go through all that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The walls are,
Show us. Let's meander over.
yep. So the walls are just deck board right now. They were tight when we were to put them in, but like Natalie said, they shrunk a little bit.
Sure.
Um,
that does give you ventilation.
Yep, it does give you a little ventilation. The air moves through it, so in the summer it's nice.
And you
it
have
stops the
heat.
wind.
And
And we have radiant tube heat in this corner. So if you're cold,
Yeah.
as you're riding, you can come stand over here and warm up as your horse cools off.
Yeah.
And then go back out and work a little bit.
so did you put these in at an angle?
Yes.
Did you guys figure out the angle, or did you go to somebody's existing arena and steal the angle?
We
Because
looked
most
in-
of us have like gone into other barns and been like, I like this. Let's measure this.
Yeah, so we did some of that.
We pretty much made it up on our own in a lot. Because
Okay.
a lot of ours isn't super angled.
It's not as angled
yeah.
as a lot of them.
Because we work cows in here. So
Okay,
if
sure.
the more they're angled, the more likely your cow is to think they
Try
can
to
venture
climb it.
out.
Oh, really?
But we
I
still
didn't know
didn't want
this.
people to knock their knees.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
we have people who do ride dressage here,
Yeah.
and we put mirrors up for some other dressage and eventing and just a whole bunch of disciplines that we had in here, and we know that they like to. So, and then Jack starts a lot of colt And I didn't want to see him get his knees whacked
Right.
all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Looks like you got a little storage at the top.
And what I like is the Cavalettis. You have like a
Yeah.
little cutout for them.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we
I
set
think
those
that's
boards
smart. Here,
backside and then.
here. Joop. Check it out.
So it's still smoothish on that wall.
Yeah, I think that's neat. It's a little cutout. I think that's brilliant. And you have hooks for them to rest.
Yep.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Corral the doggies in. Nice. Okay.
Watch out,
So
baby.
It looks like you also have your dragon here. Can we go over and take a good look at your UTV and your
You
dragon?
can.
Oh, yeah.
Let's
Yes.
go. Let's check it out.
That is much more recent. So when we put the new footing in here, like I said, we used to have sand, and the sand is very easy to groom. You
Yeah.
just need like basically like a tooth harrow, and
Tell us about the
Ooh.
UTV Honda.
Oh, this
his
looks like
dad's,
my
we
drag.
borrowed it while he's in California.
Yeah.
Okay, we love
Yeah.
talking about machinery. We get the
Oh.
jealousy going.
Ooh.
Oh,
Loving it.
we're probably gonna switch it out for our 4-wheeler once we get, once he comes back. But for now,
You think your 4-wheeler could?
we're gonna find out.
I think you're gonna have trouble.
Yeah, it's
I
gonna be a
think you
little
need to
tricky.
tell Dad he's not getting his UTV
Yeah.
back.
Well, we're also looking for a little tractor too.
Can you see this?
Yeah, I see
I'm
this.
loving this.
Yeah.
Doors and windows that open and close.
It's actually got a hidden row of seats in the back too.
And-
You can
and
fit more people.
Is there
Yeah,
like
this
an
is
actual full door that would?
Do you actually
Yeah, you
let
can put a
people
folder.
ride in the back? Or do you just put supplies like
no, we let people ride in the
you
back.
do?
If you want. This part all folds back, and there's actually
Oh,
a seat
Oh
under
my
there
goodness.
that flips down.
I like it, the storage. I have a Kubota, and we put hay in the back, but this is
Doors open.
great.
A little latch
Yeah,
there, yep.
inside only.
Wow. Cameraman, check this out.
You get all of your junk out.
No, it's okay. It's a motor vehicle.
Yeah.
Like they fall down like in
Look at the
in
dogs.
my
They're like,
vehicle.
what is going
I
on? Y'all are nuts.
Rumble seats for the
Yeah.
kids. Look at that. Does it come with cup holders? They do.
I think it does, yeah.
Of course it comes with cup holders.
We'll just call them beverage
Beverage
holders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is
Good
nice.
enough.
Yep, you can tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See?
Safe to see.
Safety first.
Fantastic. Okay.
It does. We do have the all enclosed plastic, but
Yeah. I'm a little bit
Sweets.
jealous about that. We do not have it all enclosed. We have a roof and we have a windshield now.
oh,
Yeah.
well,
We're moving.
windshield is very helpful.
We're moving up in the world. Yeah, I like the windshield. Oh,
All right, so can we talk about your drag? I
Yeah.
feel like this looks somewhat familiar.
I feel like I've seen something similar.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine is very similar.
This looks a lot like Megan's.
Why did you take
Take us through everything.
this
I
one?
know nothing, so you better
Yeah.
take this back. I just
Yeah,
ride
because
in it.
ours is an ABI, I think is what it's called.
Yep, and ABI used to build
So,
Kiser.
Yeah,
Are there
okay.
pieces
Now
inside
that's why
of
they're
this
very
that are
similar.
buried at all?
Yes.
Is there a blade
You got a
down
profile blade down here.
here? You better dig it out. Show the people, all the people.
So there's a profile blade here that rides along
How do
between the
you-
base and footing.
How do you
Raise it.
decide how high and how low? So there's a blade up front.
Yep, that's for leveling just ahead of the wheels.
Wow.
So
Okay,
that
it's a
kinda
little
smooths
different than yours.
It is different than mine, but
A
it's
little bigger,
it's a
longer.
similar
Yeah,
concept.
does yours
And-
have kind of like the angle with the rods? Does it look like Jake's?
yeah, and it's two jacks. Like whereas I don't see a jack.
No, I don't see
Yeah.
that either.
Yeah, so this one was made to go on a 3-point
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah. And you thinking
built a hitch to put it on this.
Pull this?
If it's got enough traction, I'm hoping it might. If not, we'll keep it on tractor. But
Keep Dad's UTV.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'd like something.
also
The other
Dad's
part would be nice if it's a
four-wheelers.
little narrower.
So how old? How long you had this? How old is it?
Maybe
3
a week
weeks.
and a half.
Oh,
2 weeks.
really?
Oh,
Okay.
brand
I was gonna
new.
ask you like how long and how often
It's
before you have to
used,
replace parts
yes.
and because we know the fingers will wear out, we know the blades will wear out.
Yep.
But
Yep. So we bought it used.
We bought it used.
We found it on
Oh,
Facebook. and-
it looks.
I know, and it's basically didn't even have the paint wore off of it. So I think the
Wow.
lady forgot it, didn't like it, and then they parked it and sat. So we still have a few things to change on it. The wheels need to be set to adjust. 'Cause right now it's just down at its height,
Down.
which is why it kind of
Yeah, I see. So I see some, Mr. Cameron, you want to come back here? I see some adjustment for this back blade that looks like you've got some height things here.
So you set the depth of the profile blade there.
Have you played with that at all? Like,
We
did that
have-
come that way and it just works? Or how did
No, we went a little
you,
lower.
I see some adjustments on the fingers too.
Yep, the
so-
fingers were the hardest part to get right. That getting rid of, so we get, you don't end up
The waves.
throwing
Yeah.
the waves out the
Yep.
side, but not
Right.
enough that it's not touching the ground and leaving teeth behind it. So,
Yeah.
and plan to add a set of grooming rods on it as well.
Mhm.
So
The front one kind of knocks down the initial hills and valleys. And how do you know how low to go with this back blade?
So that's just to set our depth of our actual footing between that and our base.
Okay.
So just-
you could accidentally get into the base if you
Go
didn't
too
know
low.
what you were doing.
if you didn't know, yep. But once it's set, you don't really ever raise or lower it. So once you're set,
Yeah,
you can
you're
just keep
set.
driving, and the gauge wheels will keep you from going
Sure.
deeper, shallower.
Yeah.
So it keeps you from over digging. So it's
Mhm.
kind of nice that way. But we've really liked it because it
Yeah.
lifts the ground up, kind of like you
Fluffs it up. Yeah.
fluffs it up, and then
It's
levels it back
designed
up.
to go on a 3-point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jack welded a tongue
You
for
can
us.
see that you've got it hitched, but it does look like it would connect right in here to the 3-point on the tractor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the new ones that Kiser makes, actually, they sell it that way, that you can go 3-point, or they build a hitch for it. So I just was
Yeah.
like, oh, they can build one, I can build one.
You're a mechanical and you know how to
It's
do
cheaper,
that stuff.
Yeah. It's brilliant.
So,
He worked at a welding shop through college.
Yeah.
That's
So-
handy.
It is.
Yeah. It's very handy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and I've learned from people that most of the time mechanical-minded people don't often get into horses. So to have one that understands
Mhm.
both is rare.
Yeah.
Annoying sometimes too. But
So I got a
Can be.
But
question.
rare.
Revolving back on the footing only because I remember us discussing this on the video about Megan, yours. Do you treat in the winter with anything like mag flakes or calcium chloride?
yep. So we have a pallet full of, it's actually, we use the same mag flakes that we use in our arena as we use for the spa. So
Okay.
Ah,
that
yeah.
worked out well that way. So we've
Yeah.
got
We
a pallet
just
of those.
this fall did Megan's arena talked about that. She did talk on her video where we were going over her big drag setup is to clean it off because that mag flake reaction on the metal
Will rust.
It's kind of
can
hard on stuff.
premature that rust and do some damage.
Yeah.
So yeah, I forgot to ask that as if
Since-
this was treated
I saw your video, but I didn't watch it. How do you spread yours?
By hand.
by hand with
Yeah.
feed things.
The
Yeah.
little-
Oh, you got to watch.
Yeah,
we
it's-
use
I chased her
fertilizer.
around a
The
little bit.
little wheeling
Sure.
fertilizer thing.
I'm not a very handy person. And so a lot of times they get clumps up and it
Mhm.
doesn't level, and I'm slightly OCD.
It didn't take us long.
It doesn't,
Doesn't take too
yeah,
long,
because
no.
people are like, oh, we should, you should make it easier. And honestly, we had 4 people
Yeah.
and we were done
She
in
loaded
10
them up
minutes.
in the back of the UTV, drove up and
Just-
down, dropped
Yeah.
them out, cut them, and then we all came in with scoops and
Spread
gosh,
'em
10
out.
minutes
Yeah.
we're done.
Not even,
Yeah,
we're
drag
done.
it and-
Yeah.
I think I did as much, or you did it as fast as by hand as I did trying to push that thing through the sand.
Yeah. And then
Like-
mine gets like caught up. I did it like 20
Yeah.
years ago and I don't want to go back. I don't like
Yeah.
change. So,
The other one
but
does-
but
that
it
worked
didn't
good was the
spread
hand.
evenly. Yeah.
If you've seen like the hand
Cedar.
cedar,
Mhm.
like the bag you wear over your shoulder, I think that worked pretty good. That
That's
probably works
heavy.
the best.
I mean, you're looking at 50-pound bags, and
I know, but then you don't
I
have
blew
to go
my
to the gym
back
for that
out
day.
like doing the hay
Yeah.
stuff.
Yes, I do.
I know you do. But I don't.
I'm all about mechanical. I mean,
Yeah.
for us, it wasn't that hard to scoop
No.
and spread because how many bags did you have? 10, 12?
I think we had
It's usually
10. I think we had 10.
5 on the,
Yeah,
on each
five on each side, and we just kind of make like
kind of grid.
we
side.
yeah,
You just
and
gridded it, and it was super easy.
it was easy.
And
yeah.
as much as the arena gets dragged, it's going to get nicely mixed in.
Yeah,
yeah.
So it worked really
and
well.
then in
so.
3 days there's no dust because
So
it
how-
just
that's
how
sucks
often
it up.
do you treat yours? Do you do your twice a year, or just going into fall, or
We walk
We
twice
just-
a year.
yeah, I think
if
it
it
ends
gets
up
dusty,
about
we'll do
twice
it a
a
little
year.
more.
Mhm.
So it kind of
add
depends
it,
on the ground.
add in a couple bags?
And that's one thing with this is with the big wall here and out to the west, we get a lot of sundown
Yeah,
Right.
in this area. So if you kind of draw a little V out and back, that area gets dusty.
Yeah.
Because it just bakes everything out of it.
Add into it.
Yeah.
In the summer.
So you always end up adding in that spot there
Which isn't
specifically, and along that
We usually
strip of
just
salt
keep
Do
a
something.
bag on the other side of the
Sure.
wall and just walk out and throw some down.
Do you ever have to actually water your footing?
We haven't had to since we started using mag flakes.
Yeah.
That's
Just
I
put enough of
never-
that stuff down.
I'd
Yep.
spend hours.
good.
It would be 2 hours for
Yeah.
my smaller. In my arena
Hauling
was
hoses
60
and
by
Yeah.
120,
Yeah.
and it would take 2 hours. I'd be out there, and it was such a waste of time.
Yeah.
Mag flakes all the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the moving wasn't as bad as if you forgot. Like you'd be doing something, maybe you
Oh, and
hay
then
or
you
something else.
yeah.
flood it.
Shit. It's a wet
Yeah.
spot.
Yeah.
Flood the arena.
Yeah, that it
Or
dries.
the hose leaking, all the attachments
You do a
leaking,
little-
and you'd flood an area
Yeah.
because they would leak. So
I had a
bad.
hose tractor,
Oh,
so
yeah.
so you'd make a hose track,
And
and
then-
it would follow.
As long as
Yes.
it's spin,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, but then it would get stuck, and then
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
you're.
stuck in a deep
Yep,
spot.
it was not a good place.
No.
And
So
then
do
we.
you worry about the mag flakes at all with the fact this is a metal structure?
I haven't
Well,
yet.
it's
Everything,
wood.
so the metal structure, everything above is all hot dip galvanized, so it's really, they use them,
Yeah.
another common use for them is like salt sheds for like the counties.
Yes.
So if it can handle a pile of salt, it can handle the salt I spread in here.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't know if like down along where the actual footing is, if it's a concern.
The
You got
biggest
pretty-
problem we've had is the garage door getting seized up a little on the bottom wheels.
Yep.
Yeah, one of the things Megan mentioned when we were doing her mag flakes this fall, we stay a little bit away from the doors.
Yeah.
I mean, you're still gonna, as you're dragging, get it a little, but we didn't purposely go near. So
Yep.
do what you can, I guess. But
Yeah.
can we talk about these big fans?
Yeah.
Do we want to do that in this video, or Megan? Do you think we should move on to another video?
You tell me.
Let's move on to another video. So make sure you come back. Make sure you've watched the first several videos. We're making quite the series here, but before we go,
Squeak
please hit the
again.
thumbs up, the like button,
Share.
double check, make sure you're subscribed, share this with your friends, and we're always inviting questions and comments down below. We'd love to hear from you. Yeah, so make sure you come back, guys. We'll see you on that next video. We're going to talk about fans.